Welcome to Odds.com's NHL Breakdown for Saturday, January 30th. Thank you for joining us. We're coming off a 1-1 day with two pushes. Clearly, we are losing units or leaving units on the table when we're going for -1s on some of these smaller money lines. We've had a lot of pushes in the last week and a half, but I'm not going to change course. I'm going to stick to the plan. I believe in this. I believe in going for big scores, and I'm going to continue betting -1s on the -110, -115, -120 money line spots to create the +185s and +200s. So let's get that out of the way. Secondly, I still really believe in what we're doing here, and I expect to show profits very soon. With that being said, let's attack this Saturday card. I picked 4 games that I'm going to be rolling with. First off, 7 p.m. Eastern, Florida Panthers, 3-0-1, 1-0-1 on the road at Detroit Red Wings, 2-5-1, 2-2-0 at home. We're at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Those of you who've worked with me for more than just this year know that I often bet Detroit Red Wings first periods at big plus lines. I believe Jeff Blashill is a motivator, and we always get these big plus lines. I just think teams come into Detroit, into a sleepy building. Now, I know all the buildings are sleepy now, but against a team that they don't get up for. And I haven't bet them yet this year. I've been watching them very closely. 2 games ago against Dallas, a huge first period plus line would have cashed. And I'm going to start betting them. I'm going to start moving on them. And it's really my belief in Blashill. And I like doing it after lopsided losses for them. So I'm going to be doing that here. Let's start with the goaltending situation. We don't know if it's Driedger or Bobrovsky, but Driedger's outplaying Bobrovsky at this point. Bobrovsky's 2-0-0, 3.33 goals against average, 879 save percentage. Driedger 1-1-1, but 1.92 goals against average, 934 save percentage. For the Red Wings, it will be Thomas Greiss will be in that 0-4-1, 3.04 goals against average, 899 save percentage. The Panthers' special teams have been good. Well, the power play has been good, which is what we expected from them. Any team with Barkov and Huberdeau on it is going to have a nice power play. 25% they're hitting at. Their penalty killing's at 71.4%. The Red Wings' power play is hitting just at 14.8%. Their penalty killing is at 72%. Let's take a quick look at the market here in this spot. Detroit opening up as +145 dogs. We see 145 at the minimum, and it goes up to +155 depending on where you shop. From a totals standpoint, we see 6s right across the board, a slightly juiced to the under. And I want to play unders with Detroit, but I want to take unders with Detroit against really good hockey teams when Detroit will have to play in almost a trap-like defense. And I'm not certain that they will be doing that here against the Panthers, so I'm going to be staying off of this total. Let's talk a little bit more about the Panthers. They're coming off their first loss of the season, 3-2 in a shootout at Columbus. We were on Columbus on the -1 line. We got the push there. 2013 Toronto Maple Leafs third-round draft pick, Carter Verhaeghe, is getting a massive opportunity playing on that first line with Alexander Barkov and Anthony Duclair. He scored 9 goals and 4 assists in 52 games last year for the Lightning in a limited role in his rookie season. He also got 2 assists. He played in 8 playoff games and got himself engraved in the Stanley Cup. Verhaeghe has, the third-round pick in 2013. He had a couple seasons where he started in the ECHL and moved up to the AHL. In the AHL, he was able to score. He's just 25, and he's earned this opportunity. He's earned it, and he's looking good so far this year. 4 goals, 2 assists, and 6 points in this 4 games that they've played. And if he can step up, because I can trust Duclair, and even when Duclair is not scoring, he's got size, veracity, and toughness. Verhaeghe has to score on this line. And if he does step up and become a top 6 forward, it will help this Panthers team immensely. The second thing they desperately need is Alexander Wenberg to step up as a second-line centerman. The Jackets gave up on him. He's a first-round pick. There's times where you watch him when you think he's got a ton of skill and potential, And there's other times where he's sort of invisible out there because he's one of those players who isn't physical enough. So when he's not scoring, he's not imploring his will on the D. He's not forechecking with a vengeance. He's not creating space for other players. He doesn't do enough if he's not scoring. If those two guys step up, this team will be better than I anticipate, but I do not expect them to make the playoffs, and I will try my luck at fading them throughout the season. Detroit Red Wings are coming off their 4th straight loss, 7-3 at Dallas, after losing 2 games in ugly fashion against the Blackhawks. The Wings came back and looked good in their first game against the Stars, losing 2-1 in overtime. Their last game Saturday night was disappointing. It couldn't be Saturday night. Their last game, because it had to be, the last game on Wednesday night was disappointing. Thursday night. Disappointing. 7-3 loss at Dallas on Thursday night. 7-3 loss. It was a step backwards. Blashill was very, very upset. There was a couple signs, though, that were hopeful. They were down 4-1 to a tough defensive team in the Stars, and they came back and made it 4-3. Obviously, the Stars pulled away. Tyler Bertuzzi has 8 points and 3 power play goals to start the season, and he's looked really good with Dylan Larkin. Jeff Blashill runs a tight ship. I expect this Wings team to come out angry and hungry early. I like the way Bertuzzi and Larkin look. I like Mantha on the second line with Bobby Ryan. I think there's potential for this team to cash some big first periods of plus money for us, and I'm going to go for it here. It's not available yet. Right now, money's going to be coming in consistently on Florida, and that first period will get juicier and juicier. It'll be available tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. That's how I'm getting my card started, Detroit Red Wings first period. We move on. 7 p.m. Eastern, Pittsburgh Penguins, 4-3-1, 0-3-1 away at New York Rangers. I'm going to be on the Rangers on the -1 line. It's a pick 'em right now, a -110 pick 'em. They're 2-4-1, 1-2-0 at home. Let's see if there has been any movement in the 4 or so hours where this market has been available. This total is sitting at 6 at a pick 'em either way. And from the money line perspective, we have a pick 'em. So we've had no movement at all. A couple books have made 2-cent moves towards the Rangers, and that does make sense to me. We're in Madison Square Garden, New York. Tristan Jarry, 2-3-1, 3.91 goals against average, 859 save percentage. Could be Casey DeSmith. I doubt it. I expect it to be Jarry, and he's better step up. A sap. Their goaltending is going to be a problem this year. This Penguins team is not a deep team, and I'm going to fade them, and it could cost me, and it has already this year. For the Rangers, they have 2 goalies that I believe in. Igor Shesterkin, 1-2-1, 2.73 goals against average, 894 save percentage. I'm not sure if it's him starting or Alexander Georgiev, who's 1-2-0, 2.66 goals against average, 895 save percentage. I do believe that goaltending is a real plus for the Rangers, and their goaltenders will be able to win them games at times throughout the year. Penguins special teams, 18.5% power play, 73.1% penalty killing. Rangers, 13.8% power play, 70.8% penalty killing. Penguins are coming off losses at Boston, 3-2 on Tuesday and 4-1 on Thursday. The losses weren't the big blow. It was Jim Rutherford, Hall of Famer Jim Rutherford, their general manager, resigning and leaving the team. There are rumors that Rutherford left because he wanted to trade Chris Letang, and ownership squashed him from doing that. This is a huge loss for the Penguins. They call him Trader Jim. He made 61 trades in 6.5 years. There was times when nobody would take Phil Kessel and his contract. Nobody would possibly take him, and yet somehow he moved him to the Coyotes. Jim Rutherford is a Hall of Famer for a reason. He won 2 Stanley Cups with the Penguins, 2016 and 2017. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2019. This is a huge loss, and he was trying to do something, because I see it too. This Penguins team might not make the playoffs for the first time since 2006, and it's not because of Sid the Kid, because he's playing great, as always. Most accountable player in the National Hockey League. You got to do something. Rebuild, move Letang or Malkin. That's what he was thinking. We've got to do something. He didn't want to do the whole teardown and rebuild, but he needed to shake things up, and he wasn't allowed to. His hands are tied. He left this team. That's going to weigh on these guys, knowing that Rutherford does not believe in this group and would rather resign, and he'll get hired somewhere fast. Rangers are coming off splitting 2 games at Buffalo Tuesday and Thursday. That came on the heels of losing games Friday and Sunday at Pittsburgh. Mika Zibanejad and Chris Kreider are off to very slow starts. I really believe in Zibanejad. As soon as he starts rolling, this Rangers team will be bet on. Capo Caco and Alexis Lafreniere don't look good. These are a number 1 overall pick and a number 2 overall pick. We know they're going to get them. We know they're going to figure this out. But they don't look good right now. A visit from the team that just swept them should add some urgency. Artemi Panarin has looked great. Pavel Buchnevich looks great. They're meshing beautifully. And I think this is a buy low opportunity for the New York Rangers at home as a pick'em against a Pittsburgh team that I don't trust. I'm on the Rangers -1, not available for me to bet yet. Money line is available for anybody who wants them at -110. We move on. 7 p.m. Eastern. Nashville Predators 4-3-0, 0-2-0 on the road at the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm on the Lightning at -1. I got a money line of -175, a puck line of +140, which gave me the -1 line of -115. Lightning are 3-1-1, 2-0-0 at home. We're at Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. The Lightning opened up at -170. They're now between -167 and -175, depending on where you shop. And money will come in on Tampa. So get them fast. Get in on this market as soon as you can. This total is sitting at 5.5, juice to the over. The under right now is a plus money under at 5.5, and 2 books have moved it to 6. The total, if I had a free play, I would go under it, or maybe take a Predators team total under, which actually might be something I end up doing. A Predators team total under. I should pop that into my notes as I'm thinking out loud here. I'll see what it is. You know, the 2.5. My fear is it's going to be juiced. It's going to be big juiced. That's not appealing to me. I'll have to see what the 1.5 is. If it's like huge plus money, that might be of some interest. UC Saros 3-2-0, 2.54 goals against average, 918 save percentage for the Predators. I expect him to be in net. Andrei Vasilevsky 3-1-1, 1.98 goals against average, 932 save percentage. Predators power play is anemic, 7.1%. Their penalty killing is bad, 61.5%. Lightning power play 21.4%. Penalty killing 81.4%. This is a well-coached club with skilled players that execute what the coaches want and always have good special teams. The Predators were very fortunate to get wins on back-to-back nights, Tuesday and Wednesday at home over the lowly Blackhawks. I watched these games, and I was appalled at this club, how they couldn't just instill their will against this much smaller Blackhawks team was just shocking to me. How they didn't just forecheck them to death. I couldn't understand why they weren't better. And it's something that I've made a mistake that's cost me a ton of cash over the last couple of years is believing in this Predators team. It's not a good hockey team. I mean, this power play is atrocious. Johansson has never become the elite center that was expected of him. The Corsi ratings of their forwards are bad. Luke Kunin and Michael Granlund are not top 6 forwards. Matt Duchene just doesn't care. I think they're going to get lit up and smoked by the Lightning. And what a perfect time to back this Lightning squad. Coming off their first two losses of the year, now they get to come home and get right. This is a deep squad that can handle the loss of Kucherov for at least the regular season. That's the top 5 scorer in the National Hockey League. The Stamkos, Point, Palat line is been good, hasn't been great. Braden Point hasn't had that breakout game. It will come. The Cirelli, Killorn, Johnson line is a strong enough second line. I love backing them off of 2 losses. We're getting a great number on the -1, just -115 for the defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. This is the best bet on the board. Best bet on the board. Tampa Bay Lightning -1. What an excellent money-making opportunity for us. Wow. 2 losses coming back home against the Predators team that is bad, that can't hurt you with their special teams. Great spot for the Lightning. My final game on the card, 8 p.m. Eastern, Colorado Avalanche. I'm betting them on the -1 line. I'm getting a +106. Money line -150. Puck line +165. They're 5-3-0, 2-2-0 away. And Minnesota Wild 5-3-0, 2-2-0 at home. We're at the Xcel Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. Let's pull up the market here. We have a total at 5.5, slightly juiced to the over, slightly. And from a money line perspective, we have the Avalanche opening up at minus 135. They're between minus 145 and minus 155. I got them at minus 150. Philip Grubauer will be in goal. Pavel Francouz is still hurt. Grubauer 5-2-0, 1.86 goals against average, 928 save percentage, 2 shutouts, playing well. These two as a goaltending tandem are very strong. And they took the Dallas Stars till overtime of the 7th game of the conference, or I guess to get into the conference final, with their 2 starting goalies hurt, with their 3rd string and 4th string in there. Capo Kakkonen has been good for the Wild. 3-2-0, 2.39 goals against average, 917 save percentage. Avalanche special teams are incredible. And it's because they've got this young defense that's going to be phenomenal. In 2 years, this young defense aren't going to be getting huge contracts yet, and they're going to be easily the best in the league. In 5 years, their top 3 defensemen, in Cale Makar, Samuel Girard, and Bowen Byram, are going to be so good that they won't be able to keep them. They'll have to get one of them will have to go. Wild power play 5.9%. I mean, it won't be that awful all year, but get used to that. They're penalty killing 86.7%. Dean Evason's a good coach, and they have a really strong defense in Minnesota. So get used to a strong penalty kill here. With their penalty kill, both units' penalty kill so strong, it would lead you to think that the under would be in play. You have to think that the Wild are going to come at this in a very conservative fashion. And I can get a minus 105 on that under 5.5. I'm very leery of unders in Avalanche games, but they just cashed one against the Sharks. The under, I really think the under is in play. The more I talk about it, the more it interests me. And I'm going to add it to my card. Under 5.5 at minus 105. That's a addition here right now with you guys. I have yet to bet that. Let's talk about the Avs. We got a glimpse at how good this hockey team was in their last 2 games against the Sharks. They finished this 2-game set at home by outscoring the Sharks 10-3. I know the Sharks aren't a very good hockey team, but 7-3 and 3-0. Sharks got beaten up by this Avalanche squad. They moved Landeskog back with McKinnon and Rantanen. I like the move. These guys know where each other are on the ice. Only the perfection line in Boston can compare to this spectacular line. They moved Burakovsky back to the second line with Sayed and Kadri. I like that move too. It's a great second line. I love the third line, Nishishushkin, Comfer, and Donskoy. I think it's a very strong third line. And what more can I say about this defense? Like, what more can I say about Cale Makar that I haven't already said? He's spectacular. I get giddy when I talk about him. This guy's going to win Stanley Cups. He's going to hold the Stanley Cup over his head. He's going to win Norris trophies. He's that special of a defenseman. And then you have the second unit with Bowen Byram, the 4th overall pick in 2019 from my hometown Vancouver Giants. And you have him playing with Samuel Girard, a second-round pick. Got to be 2016. I think it's 2016 second-round pick. But Girard is so skilled. He's such a special defender. You have a 19-year-old in Byram and a 22-year-old in Girard, and they are so talented. Cale Makar, I mean, this is a very young defense that is going to be by far the best defense in the league next year. I mean, in 2 years, I can't imagine how good this defense is going to be. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare will be out for an undetermined period with a lower body injury. He was centering that 4th line with Tyson Jost and Kiefer Sherwood. He was also killing penalties. Sherwood has replaced Matt Calvert, who's missed the past 2 games with an upper body injury. He's out indefinitely. But this team is deep as the ocean, baby. They can handle these 2 losses on their the bottom 6 forwards, no problem. Wild snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 5-3 win at home over the Kings. They went 2-2 at home against bottom feeders LA and San Jose. This team needs a healthy Matt Zuccarello. They need that offensive spark, those soft hands. I really thought that this was almost a perfect fit for Zuccarello, although his points would be down over here compared to the great players he was playing with over in New York. But this was a team that badly needed his offensive skill set, and they haven't been able to get it because of injuries. Their center with the highest Corsi rating on the Wild is Nick Bonino. He centers the fourth line. He was centering the second line, but they moved him to the fourth line. He's rated as the 95th. Oh, no, he's 88th. Nick Bjugstad, their first line centerman, is rated as the 95th best center iceman in the NHL. And I remember him with Florida. I mean, this guy, he's 6'6". I had high hopes for Bjugstad, and he couldn't excel with playing with the likes of Huberdeau and Hoffman. I guess Hoffman wasn't there, only there for, I guess, that beginning of the year before he was traded. So I guess that Hoffman doesn't work. But he was playing with Huberdeau. He had great wingers, and he was unable to succeed with them. Their second-line center, Joel Eriksson Ek, is the 100th best center in the NHL. You are not going to win if you're not strong up the middle. And they are not strong up the middle. Their defense is strong, though. Jared Spurgeon, underrated. He makes a nice pairing with Ryan Suter. I love the second unit, Brodin and Dumba. There will be times I back this team as a dog. This is not one of them. There we go. Avalanche at Wild. I'm on the Avalanche -1 at +106. I'm on the under 5.5 at -105. I may be on the Predators team total under, but it's going to be too juiced. I will be on the Lightning -1 at -115. That's best bet. Best bet. Penguins, Rangers. I'm going to be Rangers -1. It's not available yet. And I'm going to take the Detroit Red Wings first period for a nice big score. I think they come out of the gates hot. I need wins. I need them badly. And I expect to get them. I expect to get hot. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching the video. It means so much to me. The more guys watch it, the more cappers watch it, and the more I'll be able to put time into it. So thank you for supporting the NHL here on odds.com. Let's get hot. Let's start rolling right here on Saturday, January